cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe.
Good morning. I'm sorry a little bit about my voice. I've come down with a teeny bit of a cold, but I'm trying to like completely contain it. I've been taking all the herbal remedies, trying to sleep as much as possible, although Shay got it as well and woke up at 4 in the morning, so I haven't been able to sleep as much as I wanted to. However, that's not going to stop me from getting on with the day because I'm so excited. Today I'm going to be going around Lidl showing you how to make a luxury Christmas. So I'm going to share with you tons of recipes that I'm going to be making at Christmas, how I decorate the table, and specifically around vegetarian alternatives. And the reason because of this is my brother is vegan, and as you might know, I've gone flexitarian, so I'm trying to reduce my meat consumption. So I feel like Christmas, sometimes people think, oh, it's just about the turkey, but actually I think it's about all the sides, all the other bit. I'm going to show you some really wicked Christmas recipes that you're going to love. So I'm still in my PJs. I'm going to cleanse my skin, and then I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to hit up the shops, because Lidl's really good to go in the morning because they replenish their stock quite often. You want to get there in the morning to get all the good stuff. I've written out my shopping list. I've got it in a little checklist so I can tick off everything that I need to get.
Honey bunny, why are you walking away? Baby, lost your tongue.
I found the kale. Woo.
You act like a kid. I am not your mama, just admit what you did.
Now these are called persimmon and they are absolutely delicious. Don't be afraid to just grab different types of fruit and veg that you don't normally buy and give it a go. It kind of tastes a little bit like melon. It's delicious. It just reminds me of Christmas clementines. So pretty. How gorgeous are all these different squashes. I feel like they're almost like pieces of art, but they're also delicious to eat. Which one should I go for? This one. This is an absolute essential at Christmas. Just kind of brings a nice sweetness to absolutely everything. Ugh. So the first thing that I'm going to make is my quinoa and lentil nut roast. Now, nut roast is a classic for vegetarians and vegans at Christmas time. It's so delicious. The key to it is adding tons of flavour. I'm using quinoa and lentils as the grains in it, and cooked kind of plain on their own, they can be quite bland and boring, but mixed in with lots of flavours and spices, they can be the most delicious thing in the world. So the first step is I'm just gonna cook up some quinoa and red lentils, and once they're cooked then we can mix them with everything else. Whenever you're cooking quinoa or lentils, this bit comes to the top. This is like the scum and you want to get rid of it. I'm going to slice up some celery and some mushrooms. I'm going to fry them off in some olive oil, and this is also going to get mixed into the nut loaf. And I like to fry them off rather than putting them in raw, just to kind of caramelise, bring out the flavours, cook them down, make them super delicious. So the onions, celery and mushrooms are sautéing away. And now we're going to add in some flavour. We're going to add in garlic, sage, rosemary, thyme, lots of salt, really bring out all those beautiful flavours. So the lentils and quinoa is cooked, so I'm just basically going to pop everything into the bowl. So I've got all the roasted mushrooms, celery, onions with all the yummy spices, and to this we're going to add some chia seeds, some olive oil, the lentils, the quinoa and the nuts and seeds, and combine it all together to make into this delicious nut roast. For the nuts I'm using the Deluxe festive nut selection, so I'm going to use some walnuts, some pecans, some cashews, some almonds. I just think it's nice to have a mixture of all different nuts. I'm going to chop them up a little bit so that they're not whole and you just get that small, nice bit of crunch in your nut roast. So grab a loaf tin and just grease it with some olive oil. Just make sure that it's really fully greased so that the nut roast doesn't get stuck in there. We can just chuck all the ingredients in and then we're going to just roast it in the oven. So for the cranberry jam that's going to go over the top of it, I've just got a pack of cranberries and we're just going to let that simmer with orange zest, orange juice, maple syrup and a bit of ginger. So just slicing up the squash. How gorgeous is this squash that I got from Lidl? It's just unreal. And then I'm mixing it with chili and cumin and maple syrup and olive oil, and we're just going to roast that. It's just so delicious, just roasting squash. I just think it brings out its flavours. It's just that time of year where you can just eat squash all day. So I've made the dressing by whisking together olive oil, apple cider vinegar and mustard, and then I'm just going to pour the dressing onto the kale. I'm going to massage it in. That's key to kind of making kale taste delicious, is really getting a really good dressing super massaged into it, and that will let it absorb all those delicious flavours. And then we're going to add in the pomegranate, which I've just de-seeded, and that adds in a really nice crunch, and just I feel like Christmas isn't complete without a big dose of pomegranate. Salad, some persimmon, which is what I picked up in Lidl, and what an amazing fruit it is. Look how beautiful that is, that colour. So for the Christmas cocktail recipe, we're just going to load a glass with ice. Next, I've got my trusty cocktail barman to help me out. We're going to add in 1/8 of a clementine, and we're just going to squeeze that juice into the glass. We're adding in 50 ml of gin. Then fill the glass up to the top with aromatic Lidl tonic water. A dash of black pepper. We're adding in a sprig of rosemary with a little bit of clementine as a garnish. And then we're going to finish off with a sprinkle of nutmeg to make it super Christmassy. So we're now going to make some mini pecan pies. So we've just got some desiccated coconut that we're going to mix in with some ground almonds, pecans, maple syrup, coconut oil and vanilla extract. Shay's come in to help. So once the pastry's made, we're just going to pop a good 2 tablespoons into your muffin tray. And then just draw a small circle in the middle and push that down a little bit deeper, because that's where the pumpkin pie filling is going to go. For the pumpkin puree, I've just steamed some squash because I couldn't find any pumpkin, so you can steam sweet potatoes, squash, any kind of root vegetable will work for this. And then just adding in some maple syrup, some nutmeg, cardamom and some ginger. So here it is, my Christmas dinner. Of course you want to have some more sides with it, maybe some roasted parsnips, roast potatoes, roast sweet potato, but I just think these are my 3 or 4 favourite things. So we've got this amazing nut roast. I've just put on some caramelised onion on top of it, and I've put on some of the toasted pumpkin seeds. If you don't fancy making a nut roast and you're a bit time poor, you can always go for the Lidl Christmas range. They've got 2 different types of nut roast. One is hazelnut, cashew and cranberry, or there's also a cashew, quinoa and carrot nut roast, which are both unbelievably delicious. The pecan pies, mini pecan pies, have turned out so wonderful. They're lovely, they're gluten-free, so if you've got any gluten-free guests coming, perfect for them. In fact, this whole thing is gluten-free and vegetarian. And then you've got the squash salad with kale, you've got the pomegranates in there all mixed together. I just blitzed up that cranberry jam so you can just add that onto your nut roast, and it's all just looking so delicious and festive. It's the amazing gin cocktail that just looks so beautiful and festive. So good. Really like nice having that nutmeg and the pepper makes it quite peppery. There's a tiny bit of like citrus coming from the clementine. I actually give the nut roast a little cut.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night.
So I've just finished eating and I've had my nut roast, my veggies, I've had a little pumpkin pie which was excellent, but I've also thought I would dig into some of the little Deluxe range. They've got butterscotch mince pies. I mean, that's like taking mince pies to another level. Yummy chocolates and a salted caramel spread, which I feel like is just the best thing ever to have on toast, or to kind of spread onto your Christmas pudding, just to, you know, up your sugar intake if you need to a little bit. And I think when it comes down to Christmas, of course, try and eat your vegetables, eat healthy as much as possible, but really it's only 1 week out of your entire year, 1 out of 52. So if you're going to indulge a little bit, go for it around Christmas. It's fun, it's about connecting with your family, it's about having a really nice time. So don't beat yourself up, just enjoy it, and, you know, make sure you're balancing it out with a nice amount of veggies, because I think vegetables are just as delicious as dessert, but not everyone thinks that way. And if you need more inspiration for Christmas, don't forget to head to the little website for lots of Christmas recipes, and also in store to kind of get you excited about all the different amazing foods that you can cook at your Christmas. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have the most merry Christmas, the best time ever. I hope you like these recipes. If you make them, don't forget to tag me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.